Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of my F1 24 driver career mode as Lewis Hamilton. Today we arrive at the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. If you haven't seen the previous episode, guys, go check it out at Spain. Spoiler warning ahead, so go watch it. This one though is a sprint race, another one, the third sprint of the season. We arrive here in good form. We won the last race, making it 4 race wins on the bounce, and we are ranking up, leveling up, and everything is going in the right direction. I apologise for this video being very late. These sprint episodes are so long to record. Also the fact that we had Creator Series today, which I raced in, also qualifying, it just kind of ran overboard. Either way, we're here, late upload, if not watch it tomorrow morning on Sunday. But let's talk about the championship rivalry with Max Verstappen. You can see we now have our 3 rivals, so Verstappen, Leclerc and Russell. And we are very close to hitting our contract target of 91 overall. One more race. If we go well here this weekend, we might actually fulfill our target. Also, we actually leveled up on recognition to 53 after the last race. So we're kind of regaining that trust from Mercedes-Benz. So things are looking up. For the first time this season, Lewis Hamilton is your championship leader. 4 wins on the bounce, recovering from that very poor first race in Bahrain, and we've finally got back to the top. Now, upgrade-wise, we have a decent share of points, but not enough to buy the upgrade that I want to buy, which is going to be the ICE reliability, because it's the most expensive one in terms of the ones that I care about, and they're going to be productive for us. So, for now, we're going to hold back and save up our points, and we'll hopefully get this in the next episode and get it on the car ASAP. Until then, no upgrades, so we're dependent on whatever George has been doing in the background. We jump into specialists, starting off with manufacturing, complete 2 sessions. We're going to get that done pretty swiftly, and shouldn't be any dramas. Material fabrication planner, we're going to do the complete 10 laps during a race weekend, and in-out laps not included. Quality control, we're going to basically go for incur no more than 3 penalties during a weekend. And finally we go to strategy, and the easy one here is going to be complete a driven lap in 3 different sessions. So practice, qualifying, race, sprint shootout, plenty of sessions to get that goal done. So finally we can now get into the weekend specific updates. Weather clear. In terms of updates, reliability on the MGUH, so no performance updates this race, and for the first time this season we don't have any updates. Now I've grayed out the changes for Austria, and I just want you guys to see the difference with the new performance patch which dropped yesterday. The cars have been altered, and it feels like Red Bull have been nerfed a little bit, and we're actually closer than before, and generally the field spread is a lot tighter. The ones that got a big hit was Kick Sauber. They've really dropped down and they've taken a massive hit. So yeah, overall things are getting pretty tight and really condensed in kind of Formula A and Formula B. In the meantime, we are going to get the car prepared for the weekend, and I'm running basically a bit of a baseline, you know, set up off the top of my head, kind of what works on the time trial leaderboards, and making adjustments. So making my wings, maximum engine braking, and then also running a big offset on the suspension, personal preference on brake pressure, and then I'm going to bring all my tyre pressures to the middle to neutral value to see how that performs with the race runs. So car set up, everything good to go. Let's get into those runs, and you can see here currently closing out our 5th and final lap, and we're going to get our data for the race here.
Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can take you through the numbers.
Now that translates to very good tyre wear and also relatively decent fuel consumption. So overall the car working well, very efficient package, and things are looking good and healthy. You can see the pace looking pretty good as well. The last lap kind of started to tail off a little bit, but generally only a couple of tenths decrease in pace, so the tyres holding up pretty well. We finished in the top 10, Russell in the top 6, everyone running the soft tyres, and that was practice, bringing our points total to nearly 900. So a smooth session, and we can now jump into qualifying. We have a marginal gain on experience, and again get ever closer to that 91 overall marker which we need to hit for our contract.
Hello everyone, welcome to Austria. It is a short track, it is high speed, it is exactly what we enjoy for qualifying.
here we go then. Sprint shootout, SQ1. Medium tyres on our car, and we're getting ready to send it in this session. 2 minutes on the clock when I left the garage, and now 40 seconds as we cross the line. And we're only going to get 1 lap in here. I'm going to basically hope to deliver in 1. Checkered flag dropping. Let's see what we do. Currently trying to find the limits of the track as Alonso goes quickest. Across the line we go. Was that decent? It looked pretty decent. P1. Wow, straight away into first place. So 1 lap, 1 and done. And we do a 1 minute 4:009. So a very strong first lap on the mediums. And Russell in P7. Top 9 on mediums, bar Stroll in 12th. And we now move into SQ2. Fresh set of mediums once again on our car, looking to again beat that kind of benchmark from SQ1. DRS open up to the line. Our first lap is a 1 minute 4.3, so 3/10 slower than SQ1, so bit of a surprise. And P5 for now. I wasn't fully happy with the lap, so I chose to go again, and we're now 3/10 up, so this is a bit more like it. A couple of purple sectors as we head into now the final 2 corners, looking to close out the lap. Beautifully done there as we improve by 4/10, and this will drop us into the 103s, 1 minute 3.936, and that will be easily job done for us as the only car in a sub 104. Russell in 8th, and the top 5 teams as always into Q3. No surprises, everyone delivering on their pace. Even on mediums, the margin to Formula B is pretty clear. So into Q3 we get a yellow flag as we are leaving the garage, and there's debris on track, and this is Oscar Piastri who locked up into 1 and then gets collected by the Aston Martin. So Piastri in trouble with damage. We're currently going to start our first flying lap here. So 1 set of softs, so this is kind of it really. I have a bit of fuel in the car in case I need another lap, but this is it, 1 and done. So through turn 1, didn't get a ton of inside curb, but we got a decent exit. Now up towards turn 3, braking at about 90 meters down to 2nd gear. Let the car engine brake around the apex and then get the power back on. DRS open as we use the battery, heading towards turn 4. We've got a yellow flag again here as we brake at the 100 down to 3rd, and we've got Piastri stopped on the track with damage, and that was just enough of a distraction where I couldn't quite, see what was happening, and I just understeered off track. So
we've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
So I went again. We had fuel for another attempt. Now the issue was I didn't get a full recharge on the battery, so we're going to have to basically not use overtake at certain points and suffer a bit on the straights. You can see in sector 1 we're down by about a 10th on what we was doing just a moment ago. Still a 10th and a bit down out of turn 3, but this is where of course the time was. Now turn 4, making that slight error and that slight distraction. Braking at about 70 meters, braking really late on that attempt, using all the outside curb, and we recover that time, and now we're kind of into uncharted territory with this delta. So through the lefts we go, trying to make up time. Currently half a second up on Lance Stroll in P6, and we just have a handful of corners to go to close out the lap, using the last bit of the battery here. Turn 9 at the 50, throw the car in, didn't really get a lot of inside curb, and now the final corner, again a bit shy on the inside curb as we open DRS across the line, and it's a 1 minute 3.7, but it's only enough for P3. Verstappen a 1 minute 3.5, so that is going to be your lot for the sprint qualifying or sprint shootout SQ3 basically. And yeah, overall I'll take it. Not a decent, not a bad place to start from, put it that way. We'll take it. Russell P8, we out-qualify our teammate, putting nearly a second on his head, but Verstappen looking very quick in the 1 minute 3.5. So second row, clean side of the grid. We'll see what happens. Either way, a smooth qualifying, barring that Piastri issue, and we'll see what happens in the sprint. A little bit of a pace increase, but anyway, sprint race time.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Perez, Sainz, Stroll, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon, Albon, Ricciardo, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Joe, Hulkenberg, Bottas and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out.
Time for the sprint here at Austria. Sunny skies, P3, Max Verstappen on pole, our title rival directly ahead of us, and we have a Ferrari in between us, looking to make things interesting. Anyway, for this one, I don't really care too much in terms of the pace or how things go. We just want to try and stay close to Verstappen and be with him for the fight, and hopefully we can pick something up later on in the race. You can see it's going to be the whole sprint on mediums, 12 laps. I've put 0.3 extra on the fuel, so that should hopefully get the job done. So yeah, car setup, I've made some adjustments for the race, so I've kept everything default, but I have moved the tyre pressures up to basically in the middle to have a bit higher, so hopefully that gives us better tyre temp throughout the race and no overheating. I am going to move the brake bias to 56 for the race, and that should hopefully take care of locking on the rear. So let's get into it and let's see what happens. Looks like Norris is in a bit of a hurry. For the first time, we have both of those blue icons with Verstappen and Leclerc directly ahead of us, and it's going to be a pretty spicy battle. Anyway, let's line her up and get ready for this race start. Right, for the first time, we've got a couple of blue icons ahead of us. Both drivers are rivals. Lights on. And away we go. Not a bad start. We get the jump on Leclerc. And go around the outside.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
Okay, we've got the run on max. We're going to keep the battery on. To be fair, Max brakes late, and there's a bit of contact there. I did see some debris go off. No radio, so we won't know. I don't think we've got damage, so I think we're okay, but there was a bit of contact there on the nose. Max braking super late though, fair play, into turn 3, had nowhere to go. Tried to put the move on, but it wasn't on. Let's try and stick with him here. He's trying to make a break. That was a really good turn 1 as well. It's going to take some pressure off from Leclerc. And we're now in DRS range, so good stuff. Let's get a bit of recharge on the go. It's going to be tricky to not pass, but to pass and break DRS around here. 3 zones, only 10 corners. We need to make sure we are prepared to make the move. For now though, let's just play the long game for a little while. Verstappen marginally quicker. Perez, quickest of the bunch. All very similar pace though. First warning, just washing a bit wide. Leclerc just turning the wick up a little bit. I'm trying to use medium ERS and not burn up the batteries too much. I think we're going to be okay now. Managed to get a bit of saving on the way. We've got good straight line speed. I'm running a bit less wing than all these other guys, so we're quick on the straight. Here we go. First proper yellow since the patch. So we're seeing now some reliability issues creep in. Who is it? We're going to find out. I think it's a McLaren. Let's see if it's Piastri. No, it's Pierre Gasly, so not a McLaren. Oh wait, there is a McLaren, yeah.
Information on Piastri. They're retiring from the race.
So double retirement. Maya went to the McLaren, but Pierre Gasly also out. So will that trigger a safety car? I don't think it will, which is surprising. And now Norris is out as well. Both McLarens out. Oh my god, so a triple retirement in a lap. But no safety car, VSC, red flag, nothing at all. I can't see Lando on him pulling over retired off track, so I don't know where he is. Either way, that's a shocker for McLaren.
Okay, information on Verstappen. They seem to have an issue.
Wow, the cars are literally falling apart here, and this could be our chance to take the lead. win the sprint and make a big dent in the Drivers' Championship. Verstappen in trouble. I'm going for it straight away, using the straight line speed. Around the outside. We've got to try and push now. I've got to try and go. This might be our chance to break a gap with Leclerc. Verstappen's got DRS in closing. Just need a good exit through these next couple of corners where Verstappen's got trouble with his car. Max exits pretty well out of turn 3. We've run out of battery now, so this is it. Need a big rest of the lap here. That was not the apex. Big push now. Let's see if we can notice Max's car trouble through here on the Delta. Seems like he's actually keeping up alright. So I don't think he's badly wounded. Oh, there we go. Leclerc's gone for it. Into turn 1. And that's given us the break. Perez is going to get involved here as well. So the new patch is bringing chaos, at least to the sprint race. They're still going for it, and this is now giving us the gap we need to break away. This is perfect. They're still going. Wow, they're losing a lot of time. They're battling again through the final couple of corners. We also nailed those final 2 corners there. And look at that, we've now got a big gap. Perez up to second, or trying to gap to second. Currently has the fastest lap as well. But we've now got a comfortable gap, so all we have to do now is manage. Let's bring this home. Leclerc and Verstappen have been battling so hard, Perez has actually broken DRS. And also, they've brought Alonso and co, all in that train behind them, back into the fold. I wonder if maybe they've got some damage, because they've been going at it constantly this entire time. So I do wonder if possibly damage is at play. Either way, we're now managing this race. We're running medium ERS. We're going to bring this home. Maximum points, hopefully, in terms of what we can score. Fast lap will go to Perez, but that's fine. Here we go. Last lap of the sprint. Perfect performance. Everything going really well. And also, this is something to note for the main race. You know, the AI might behave like this in wheel-to-wheel combat. So there will be opportunities to have chances to hopefully make inroads, break gaps, and make moves. Either way, job done, and we extend our championship lead.
Yes! Come on, guys! Thank you so much. Such great work. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. Great win, team.
So there we have the final finishing order. So, of course, Hamilton wins, Perez second, Verstappen with car trouble holds on to a podium finish, or a top 3 finish in a sprint. Alonso P4, Sainz P5, Leclerc drops to 6th, and then Stroll and Russell score the final points. So there is your lot. We'll look at the standings in the championship after the main race. Either way, it's a good start to the weekend, but now let's get back into qualifying.
Hello everyone, welcome to Austria. It is a short track, it is high speed, it is exactly what we enjoy for qualifying.
Now, before we get into qualifying, I want to quickly recap the updates after the sprint race. Now, again, we maintain our, I'd say, lead status over Verstappen in the rivalry. We pick up a ton of stats. However, the pace takes a big hit, which I don't understand how that works. Either way, we also lost driver rating, which is so strange. I don't understand how winning a sprint can result in you losing pace and driver rating. Anyway, into Q1, regular qualifying now, and looking to, kind of set the benchmark. We do a 1 minute 4.1 and go straight to the top. Not that quick, we did a 1 minute 4.0 in SQ1 on mediums, so everyone kind of running a bit less pace. Verstappen 1 minute 3.8 did set the benchmark at the end, but either way, that was enough to get into Q2. So again, fresh set of tyres, back out on track, looking to improve once again. And you can see currently up on Albon by over 4/10 as we make our way into Sector 3. Final 2 corners, again, you want to try and aim for the 50, but try and turn in and get a lot of that inside curb and make up that lap time. That's a bit more like it, right on the white line as we now head through the final corner again, getting greedy on that curb on the inside. Across the line we go, and it's a 1:04 on the nose, and that's P2 behind Verstappen's 1:03.8. Again, job done. That lap was more than enough. The gap between Formula A and Formula B once again noticeable, and your top 5 teams once again progress into Q3. So, job done. Now things get serious, and of course we're going to burn up our last 2 sets of soft tyres, and we're going to see how this goes. So, starting out the lap through turn 1, beautiful over the inside curb there, nice and aggressive, little snap, but we keep momentum rolling and don't lose corner speed. Up towards 3, you're going to brake about 90 meters, 95 meters down to second, let the engine braking work, open up the steering to carry speed on exit, and now open the DRS as we head down towards turn 4. Purple in sector 1 according to the minimap, which is usually accurate. Brake at about 85 meters down to third, use all the runoff curb and get the car straightened up ASAP. And now take a breather before the long left down to 5th gear, hug the curb and then let the car run wide, use all the track. Then down a gear once again, trying to carry that speed. We get a bit of understeer wash as I missed 5th gear on entry, so we lost a bit on the exit as a result. Final 2 corners, really aggressive again on the curbs and the track limits, especially the final corner, and we're going to close out this lap. Across the line we go, and it's a 1:03.562, and that is a benchmark. Just like Verstappen in SQ3, that matches pretty much his time with all 3 sectors purple, so a very strong lap for us in Q3. Last attempt, 40 seconds on the clock. Can we improve? Let's find out.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session. Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
It's another Hamilton special, another pole, and there was more time in it. I reckon a 3 was possible, maybe even a 2, up at different times. Just couldn't quite clean the lap up and put it all together, but there was some real pace in the car, and it really came good towards the end. George Russell P5, Verstappen P3, Leclerc P6. Those are the things to kind of note from that session. But again, we insert our authority in the rivalry versus Verstappen, and we keep pushing forward. We do gain a little bit marginally in driver stats, but generally it's basically recovering that pace that we lost from the sprint, as you can see. So job done for qualifying.
It's race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. We are just a few moments away from lights out, and our drivers thinking about navigating the Niki Lauda curve, as it was renamed in 2019, in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. 700 meters above sea level, 10 corners, and one of the shortest laps of the season. 2.6 miles with some good overtaking opportunities, but you've got to get the braking right into turn 1 and turn 3. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Joe, Ricciardo, Bottas, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable of.
Main event time here at Austria. Pole position. And we look to hopefully go back-to-back and convert this into a win, which would make it 5 race wins in a row, not including the sprint from before. So this would be pretty insane in the W15 Mercedes. Anyway, strategy for this one, much like the other races, it's going to be a medium to hard tyre strategy, a simple one-stop. Again, mediums tend to wear out towards the end, so the hard's going to be the main race tyre. Fuel-wise, I'm going for 0.5. I did realise we were running a bit thin on fuel in clean air in P1 during the sprint, so I'm going to add a 0.2 extra, actually a 0.3 extra and double it because it's a double distance race basically. So yeah, that should hopefully get us over the line and keep us safe. There is a pit stop as well to save fuel, so let's get into it and let's go back to back and try and hopefully get another huge win. Also, we'll see how the ICE holds up. I think we're pushing nearly 80%, 75%, so we're pretty high on wear. Either way, let's get ready. We had a decent start in the sprint. We're starting 1 row ahead. I got a perfect lineup in the grid box. Let's try and make sure we replicate that. There we go. Right then, let's get to it. Let's go for the double. Lights on. And away we go. Not a bad start, but Perez gets off to a flyer. Norris on the inside, got to leave room.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
So Norris, opportunistic there, trying to make a move. Perez into the lead. There's a bit of battling going on behind. Russell was briefly behind me in P3. Yellow flag. But Russell dropping back. Leclerc into the top 5. Perez slowly getting quicker and quicker all weekend. But let's try and make sure we stay within his DRS. So incredibly important phase here. Don't want to let him get away. Got that extra bit of front wing on the car as well, which we added in qualifying, which I'm kind of hoping will help me out, especially in these corners, to just close the gap. I just hope we don't suffer too much in the straights because of it, but Perez is really trying to push for the breakaway here. That was a brilliant turn 9 from us, and a brilliant turn 10 as well, and we cut the gap massively.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Right, let's see if we can have a good turn 1, which we do, and then we can just relax in the DRS for a bit. Last race, Verstappen had car trouble, which enabled us to pass. For now, we'll stick behind in principle and just see how this race evolves. We'll see if we can drop a few cars out of the DRS train. Verstappen quickest last time around by a pretty decent margin. Already breaking away, you can see on the mini-map, there's Russell at the back of this train. I think Sainz is actually leading the midfield pack. Norris having a look up the inside of turn 3. We're going to run the wide line. Norris getting a decent exit. We'll get the battery on though. We've got that good straight line speed still. And we get back in front for now. Batteries charged up. Everything now looking pretty nice. So we can just start to manage this race now and kind of prepare things. At the minute, pace feels pretty decent. Perez running at a decent pace. Everyone's sticking with us here in this little train of cars. Norris having a look into the penultimate corner, so we'll just get a bit of overtake on to make sure we de-incentivize him from that move. Oof, bit of a snap. Getting pretty close to Perez now. Norris also is kind of forcing me to up the ante a little bit. Norris up the inside again, taking the wide line. I don't know if I've got a lot more pace than Perez. I'm kind of...
Okay, Lewis, it's Perez ahead of you. We don't want to let this this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
I was going to say, I'm kind of curious to find out what pace I've got, but I don't feel like I've got a ton in the reserve. Norris seems to be the quickest one here, but now we kind of have to pass Checo. AI getting very strong on acceleration, especially now tyre wear kicking in. That's something I've noticed with the new patch in racing. They are better on traction, kind of back to their overpowered best. We'll pull the trigger and see if we can pull away.
Oh mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it.
Right, no DRS on this straight. We'll see if Norris can pressure Perez. Perez back for more. He's got a lot of overspeed. We'll hold the inside and we'll just put the squeeze on. I don't think we've got the pace to pull away, to be honest, but let's see what we do in clean air. Yeah, we are way too similar pace-wise. I actually think we're a little bit slower than the sprint. That wing maybe not working as well for us, so I might get that taken off in the stop. But yeah, we don't have a ton in the chamber here. Perez will get past soon. Right, here comes Checo. We'll see if Norris follows through. We need to get back into battery recharge. Slight contact. We'll just let Norris sit on the outside. He tries to make it stick. And to be fair, he's still going for it. I'm going to try not to use overtake. We're hanging in there just about. Luckily, we're good on the brakes into turn 4, so we can hold our own. Approaching the pit phase now. Oh, okay. DRS stuck open. That could be a problem. Big problem. I don't know if...
Lewis, let's be a bit more careful about where and when we use DRS, and let's try and be consistent as you use it moving forward.
I don't know if, you know, pitting fixes your wing. But we're about to find out in a few laps' time. I'm going to try and see if I can drive this. We're going to really struggle though through the final couple of corners. This ain't too bad. It's manageable. Oof. Backhand is super snappy. Just makes us very quick on the straight. Oh, doesn't feel nice at all. I'll put the brakes on 57 to just kind of move the front end stability even more towards the front. Norris tries to have a look, but we outbrake him. Just got to try and weather the storm. Norris still lurking, looking, but we're gonna hold on. We're doing okay. This is probably one of the better tracks for this to happen at. Had this been Suzuka or Kota or Silverstone, we'd be in trouble, but this is manageable. We might just lose DRS. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We've got it permanently, but you know, in case my wing does get fixed, I kind of want to still have it. We are drifting and sliding as Norris and Verstappen pit.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Right, they've made the pit entry lines a bit wider in this game. Anyway, we're going to follow Checo in. We're likely going to get undercut by Norris and Verstappen, but still, that's a really good in lap, and we've maintained pretty good pace with open DRS. Need a good stop here. And it's slow. It's really slow. 4.9. Oh, bloody hell, that's not great. Right, let's see where we are.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Seems like Norris and Verstappen have not had a great outlap, because we are still ahead of them. I mean, Verstappen's going to go straight through here, but or not. He drives into the back of me a little bit, but now he goes to the outside. But we can try and hold. Bit of contact wheel to wheel with our rival. We get the DRS. Our rear wing is now fixed. Not quite close enough. Norris down the inside. Oh no, that's actually Leclerc. That's my bad. Norris is the next car. Let's let Leclerc go. We'll try and settle in here. But Perez, this has worked out beautifully for him.
Okay, George is coming in for for his stop.
He's got a nice healthy gap now out front. That was a really bad slow stop. Otherwise, we would have actually been fine with the issue with the DRS. Norris trying to have a look, so we'll just get the battery on to keep him at bay. Let's see where George rejoins in all of this. There he is, pit exit right now. He might just be able to connect to the back of us. We'll see, that extra lap might hurt him. Yeah, I think he might have just lost DRS there by staying out another lap. He could have pit the lap before me, to be fair, but again, the AI don't do logic. Norris up the inside. Don't run into the back of Leclerc or Verstappen if possible.
Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate.
So job done on that specialist objective. Leclerc all over the back of Verstappen right now. Doesn't seem like we're catching Checo, so Checo looking pretty ominous in this one. Leclerc now with a move on Max and Norris on a move on us. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fastest of them all? Both moves on the outside. Get the move done on the one on the inside. Norris back again. We're going to show him the left side. And we're just going to hang it on the brakes on the inside. AI getting really racy now. Oof. That might have been a double, to be fair. That was a bit scruffy. Russell setting the pace. Got to be careful now with track limits. I think that was a double, so if it wasn't, not sure. Either way, no more this race, otherwise we could be in trouble with a penalty. These two are still going for it. Bit of contact. Leclerc a bit slow. I'll see if I can try and get in between both of these guys. I want the high line. Come on. Give me that outside. We get the momentum and we can use the curb for traction. And there we go. Beautiful. And the outside. Pass on Leclerc. Verstappen's got wing damage. Just realised. Verstappen's missing a left front end plate. Okay, well in that case, let's crack on and get this move done. On the inside we go. I was just going to sit and chill behind Max. I thought the pace was pretty laid back and casual. Let's see if we can try and break away here. We've got a chance to get a gap, and that's huge for the championship yet again. Our championship rival in trouble in the Austria main race. Luckily for him, there's only 10 corners and 3 DRS zones, but we'll try and see if we can break him. He should struggle through the right-handers, which will get him out of trouble around a circuit that's clockwise. I'm out of battery, Verstappen's still keeping up. That's really frustrating. We have broken the rest of the cars behind those, so Norris, Leclerc, Russell have dropped back. Especially Leclerc. Look at that, Verstappen goes purple with damage. So Max has got some real pace, considering he has damage. I'm going to try and recharge once again. Now knowing what I know, we'll make sure next time we get a full charge, I'll get the job done.
Okay, Lewis, Verstappen's ahead of you. Come on, mate, this is it. Let's try and get past them quickly.
Don't worry, it will get done. Max is still really quick to say he's got damage, he really is. Perez is cooking around here, but the Red Bull just is working really well on race trim. We were pretty quick in qualifying pace, but race trim, different story. Now this is where I want to pass Max. I want to make sure I get DRS on the next straight. And now we can just basically nail it right on the outside.
You smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
And now we get the DRS to try and see if we can open the gap this time and stretch. Pushing the limit with these track limits. But we've got a bit of a gap here, but Max is going to have DRS. We go purple, so we might get an extra point. I'm out of battery again though. We're so close to breaking it, but we just run out of resource.
Green flag.
Albon's out. Yeah, he's still got DRS. I just can't break this guy. Oh wow, Sainz out. Cars dropping like flies once again. We are unable to drop Max, so I give up in trying to drop him. We just run out of battery too quick. So We'll just make sure we pass him by the end of the race. Here comes Verstappen. Left, right, left. I'm just driving normal. I'm not trying to battle, just defending the inside. And actually, Max is locked up, so back on the battery. This is it. We'll use what we've got. Max making a self-inflicted error. Running deep into turn 3, and that will give us the break, finally. And we can bring this home in P2 with a fast lap of the race. But Checo today, fair play. There we go, we've got the gap now. Max won't keep up without DRS. So maybe Russell could nick a podium.
I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate.
I was pushing a bit too much. I was trying to catch Perez. I was running hot lap mode to try and gain, and we are cutting the deficit a little bit. We have lost DRS again, but this time it's just permanently shut, hence why I didn't mention it. It's not a big deal, as we're not battling anyone. But we'll keep chipping away, make sure we lock in that second place and keep the gap. Here we go then. Last lap of the race, giving it everything. We've actually caught Checo quite a bit, and my pace was actually really good in the stint on the hard tyre. Better than the mediums, I just was a bit too far back. Checo wins though, we get P2. We'll take that.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome. Let's keep pushing.
What a drive! What a driver! Sergio Perez takes the checkered flag. Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So there we go then, race done. Here are the combined weekend results. Sergio Perez, the overall highest scorer this weekend, and we basically exchanged first and second places from sprint to main race. Verstappen third overall, Russell P6, and then a few more mixed results further down. So yeah, there is your final weekend order. Let's look at the standings though after that, and the sprint of course, and currently we have a 9-point lead over Max Verstappen. So not too bad considering the issues, but Max also had issues with his own this weekend in both races, and we didn't really capitalise massively. Perez up to third now with a decent margin over Alonso with that race win and a decent weekend for him. Russell in 6th, and then in the Constructors, 30-point gap to Red Bull. They do pull away a bit, but we also pull away from Ferrari, so it's becoming a two-way fight. Ferrari dropping away with Aston and McLaren. So yeah guys, that is going to be it for today's episode, sprint and main race. On screen now you're going to have the post-race rivalry versus Verstappen, which hopefully will increase our lead even more, and of course against Leclerc in the ratings, and then also our own personal rating. I think we might just tick over 91 or get very, very close after this race, so we'll see what happens. And also of course the specialist goals, which we're also starting to get some real progress on those now. But guys, cheers for watching. Like, subscribe the video. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. If you're new to the channel, then subscribe. Also a big shout out to the channel members for supporting all the content. Check the links down below along with the videos on screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and that's goodbye from me.